I have been making videos for a very long time. I fell out of it a couple of years ago and was going through my YouTube today. I used to post these mashups from when we were kids. And I mean, like, just anything really. We'd get together and we'd do stuff. And I always wanted to have a camera in my hand. And it drove everybody crazy. But I wanted to document the kinds of things that we did. And while that might seem kind of ridiculous to a bunch of 13-year-olds building a blanket fort, I'm kind of really appreciative that I actually did it, because to this day I can go back and look at these photos and I can look at these videos from when we would go out and we would do things. And I've been doing a lot of big thinking lately, and I've noticed that when I do the big thinking and I try to write it, it never seems to make the impact that I wanted. And I thought, well, maybe it's time to make another video. And I guess it's been kind of an interesting year, because when I was younger, we graduated from high school 4.5, almost 5 years ago now. I always believed that the world was going to open up to me as soon as I turned 18 and I went off to college. And that didn't happen. I went away to college and I prepared myself to change the world, because I thought that that was what I was going to do. I've always had this feeling like I'm going to go out and do something huge. And I'm starting to realize that maybe that huge thing is different than what I thought it was going to be. Because, gosh, now that I'm doing this, I don't even know how to word it. I guess the most important thing for us to do, the big thing that we are meant to be doing, is living. Maybe we're just out there to change the world, to make life a better place for people. And maybe that's just what we are here to do. You know, I've noticed so much hatred since I went off to go and live my life. People are angry about everything. They're mad. They want everybody to be off doing their own things. They want people to leave them alone. They want to have their own time. Me time, me time, me time, me time. And I can't help but wonder if maybe that's why we have so many problems. For me, I'm not exempt from the me thing. I've been so concerned about where I'm going to be, what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be at, what college is going to mean to me, what I'm going to do for a career. And I'm lonely in that way that comes from falling apart and falling away from people. I used to make these videos. My life was enriched by people. We did all of this fun, amazing stuff. And I mean, we can't go back and do some of what we used to do now. We're grown. We have things that we have to get done. We have jobs. We have families. But I guess the question I have, especially for any of you, who grew up with me, Caitlin, Zan, Kel, Anika, Melissa, any of you guys who were a really big integral part of our group when we were younger, what do you guys feel about everything that's happened? I mean, I know that I've always been a nostalgic person. That's something that you guys have teased me for since we were kids. I value looking back on things very highly. And I think that when I look back at all of the photos and all of the videos, I realize that the big impact, the big changes that I want to make are in the lives of the people that I care about. I want to change how other people feel about the world and all the things that we have to offer and all of the things that we can do. I have been called clingy, I've been called invasive, and I think that in a way, I do cling to the people that I know, but not in a clingy sort of way. I value the people in my life immensely. Their happiness is my happiness, and my friends are my family. And I look back at it all, and I can't help but think if we had talked more, if we'd been more in tune, if we'd cared more about each other during our struggles, maybe things would have turned out differently. I guess what I'm saying is it's never too late to reach out and try to be there for people, even if it's not convenient for you. And this doesn't mean you can fix everybody's problems. You can't. It's up to other people to fix their problems. But that doesn't mean you can't be there for them. Put somebody before you. Put someone's needs before your own. Reach out. And I think that we'll all see that maybe we have more friends. Maybe our friendships that we lost or that have been damaged since we were in high school start to mend, or maybe you'll meet new people and make wonderful adult friendships with them. But we're all so caught up in what we're doing and what we want, what our time is. And so few people extend that hand. I know that I'm busy, but I want to see you. And I can tell you some of the best times of my life have been when I've been with the people that I care about. And I mean, I remember it all. Just, it's starting to do that thing where it's getting to be older, looking back on the memories they feel like memories. They don't really feel like yesterday anymore. But I remember growing up and knowing that every day when I got into school, there would be faces ready to see me, people who were always there encouraging me when things were hard. We were a group. We were a family. We were a unit. From building blanket forts to building costumes. And I mean, I don't do much of that anymore. I've had life come along and do that thing where you grow up and you have to move on with things. I mean, right now I'm just sitting here on my lunch break at work. And, do you guys remember it, I guess? Do you remember what it was like to put all that makeup on and run around, reach out, talk to somebody, late night sleepovers, sitting up late in someone's bedroom, just, those memories aren't just memories, they've shaped us and made us part of who we are today. I know that I'm a better person because I had the friends that I did. We encouraged each other to do good things. We encouraged each other to do what we needed to do. And I think that is a fundamental key in happiness, loving one another even when it's hard. There are a couple of people in my life who I know that I would not have made it as far as I have right now if they were not there. And there's nothing wrong with wanting other people in your life. There's nothing wrong with wanting companionship. You can't rely on somebody else to fix you. That's your job. But there's absolutely nothing wrong in wanting people there to be with you while you change, while you grow. I feel like we've started to take wanting other people in our lives as weakness, and that isolation and self-interest is somehow stronger than being there for the people you care about. And I see more and more and more of this as I've gotten older. Separation of people from people, grouping of people and people. There's people say high school is cliquey. High school is not cliquey at all compared to real life. I've spent more time dealing with cruelty and open bullying and meanness since I graduated than I ever did while I was in school. And I think that if we all tried a little bit more to be open to other people, that maybe things might go a little bit better for us. Maybe we'd be less lonely, less inclined to. There is so much happiness in the happiness of other people. And while we don't want to put ourselves out there because it's easy to get hurt, if less people went out with the intention of hurting and less people were afraid of being hurt, I feel like maybe things would change. You see so few love stories anymore that end in happiness. You see so few friendships that last a long time. And I think that's because we kind of expect things to fail before they start. We expect them to fail before they begin. And we have a self-fulfilling prophecy for the end of friendships and the end of love, platonic, romantic, familial, whatever you want to be in. There's just a failure of it because we are so caught up in ourselves. Take a chance on someone. Even if they've hurt you in the past, if they're trying, reach back out. See if you can, if they haven't changed at all, if you're in danger, don't do it. But if you believe the person is better, give them a second shot. Go for it. What do we have to lose? I mean, I can't tell you how many people lay around talking about how hard it is to make friends, and it's because nobody trusts anybody to be nice. We expect people to be mean right off the bat. So, I guess what I'm getting at here is I spent 4 long years realizing that I'd lost far more than I gained going to school. I went away from my home. I went away from my friends, primarily a handful of people who were extremely close to me. I lost a lot of that, and while those people, some of them are still in my lives, the intimacy of those relationships is gone. People tell me that that's normal, sure. But I don't want that to be normal. I don't want fade out and isolation to be normal. You have to rely on yourself to take hold of your own life, but you also have to trust other people enough to be there for you, or you're never going to have people close to you. Everybody will always be an enemy. And after having many, many people hurt me, it surprises me that I still want to try. I miss the closeness of the friendships that I left behind, and while I hurt a lot of people, and I don't expect them to give me a second chance, I would really like that chance to try again. Give it another shot. Be a better person. I know I'm a better person. I've worked hard to get there. I'm not perfect. I've got a long way to go, but anybody who's willing to stick it out with me, it'll get better. I'm steadily going uphill. It's been a long time trying to figure out who I want to be, and I think I'm finally getting there. But mostly, I miss the joy that I used to have in my life because of people that were amazing. And I still know that they're amazing. And that joy, that knowledge that there would always be somebody right there, that I had these people who wanted to see me, not that I'm like sitting on top of them to be around them, but that wanted to see me. That got me through everything hard. And now that there's all this new hard stuff going on, and knowing that these people that I care about very much could care less whether or not I text, call, never speak to them again, that's tragic to me. It makes me not want to try very hard, knowing that the effort is all going to be in vain. So, I miss it. I miss my family. I miss the people that I grew up with. And knowing that I had a family backing me up. And while I'm still close to a few people now, there are some people that I'd really like to get back in touch with. People that I would really like to be a part of my life permanently. And, maybe it's possible. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's foolhardy. Maybe this is just going to be another one of those videos that ends up on the web, and I'll look back at it in 3 years and be like, what in the world was I thinking? Granted, this time there's no crepe hair on my face, and I'm not wearing a lot of makeup, and I don't have braces. So that's a step in the right direction. I tangent terribly when I make videos, and they end up really long. Guys, there's nothing wrong with loving people. There's nothing wrong with being close, and there is no weakness in reaching out. And, if you know that there's somebody in your life having a hard time, for the love of God, don't ignore that. I can't tell you how often I decide not to say anything to anybody because I just assume that no one's going to care. I just assume, well, what's the point? No one's going to care in the long run. I'll get some snarky comments if I post on the web, and if I call people up, I feel like I'm bothering them. So if you know you've got some friend in a hard spot, reach out to them, talk to them, because it's important. It's what keeps people from doing things to themselves that are really bad. And if you love someone, if you like someone, if you want to be friends with someone, take a chance. Everybody says, oh, you're so young, you can be as wild and crazy as you want. Maybe making friendship is wild and crazy. Maybe telling someone you still care about them, or you care about them, period, is wild and crazy. Maybe it's all just wild and crazy. And maybe there's no age limit, Everybody's like, oh, Laura, you're so young. And I'm all like, yeah, I'm young, but you never know. Tomorrow might be it. And that's not a morbid comment. It's just true. I would rather not live my life figuring I can do it tomorrow when I could do it today. I don't want to do tomorrow when I could do what I was going to do tomorrow today. That includes friendships. One day you're going to run out of, well, maybe later's, or I'll do it tomorrow's. One day you're going to sit there and think, wow, it's been 15 years since I saw this person. And maybe you'll regret it, maybe you won't. Maybe by that point they'll be so far gone in your memory you won't even really remember it all, and they'll just be a fond memory from a time past. But I know, personally, that I'm not going to keep living today figuring, oh, well, I've got 100 years ahead of me. Because you might not. You might wake up tomorrow and tomorrow's your last day. And I've known people where that's happened. And there's no better day to do something, to take the initiative, to get the gumption, than right now. There is no better time to do something. And if you're so young, great. You have your whole life to spend making awesome decisions for the benefit of yourself and for the people around you. And if you want to be with someone, or you care about them, or you want friendship, why wait? You have a whole life to build with another person, friendship or romantically. You have this entire span of your life left to build with this person. If you think you like them, go for it. If you want to be friends with them, why not? Why be like, well, I'm only 23, I can do whatever I want, I'll get around to it later. There's no need for that. Just go do it. There is no better time to love than now. There's no better time to do it than right now. So get out there. Grab life by the horns. Because the big thing that I've learned, everybody has the ability to make the biggest difference. Everybody has the opportunity to do amazing things. And it may be as small as making someone who hasn't smiled in days, weeks, smile. It could be as big as becoming president. You never know. But if you keep waiting on tomorrow for it to happen, our generation, the people of tomorrow, will get there eventually, the procrastinators. Stop. Stop procrastinating. Just go do it. Go grab the person you like, tell them you like them. Go see the person you were mad at, say you're sorry. Go join that school, go get that job, go learn that tennis, do the thing, because time is precious and we spend it pettily on things that matter very little for very, very short-term gain and happiness. Let's not be a generation that lives for tomorrow. Let's be a generation that lives for today.